Well, courtesy of tape from yesterday's Fox News Sunday, we heard from a local Democratic congressman all morning. And now, courtesy of Jim Gerlach's staff and his driver, Corey, we have him live here all the way from Chester Springs. We appreciate you driving across the 5-county region. All right, look, I consider myself an engaged voter, an intelligent guy, and I follow this as much as possible. But I have no idea how this health care reform package would affect me, and I have researched it to death. Does that surprise you?
No. In fact, there are a lot of people that even if they read the 2,000-page bill are still confused how it would affect them if they're a small business owner or if they work for a business that provides them insurance today or they're self-employed and they don't have their own insurance. What do they do? It's a very confusing set of new provisions and new rules that really have people concerned that it may not be the right direction to go with this whole reform.
Okay, Arcadia University, not in your district, but almost in your backyard. Why do you think the president is coming here today to make this pitch right now?
Well, I think it's great the president comes to southeastern Pennsylvania anytime that he can come and talk about issues. I would imagine Arcadia University has a pretty good program for physical therapy and other health care services, so I imagine he picked the university for that reason. They have a great reputation in allied health services, so that would be a good reason to be here. But anytime the president comes to southeastern Pennsylvania is a good thing, and let's have a good dialogue on this very important issue.
I've read a lot of your concerns over this whole debate for the past few months, and he's given in on a couple of things that you wanted to see in the bill, but still not enough, I guess, for your support.
Well, when you have a bill that's going to cost over $1 trillion in 10 years, it's going to increase taxes on our small business owners, particularly in this recessionary time. It's going to turn a huge amount of healthcare decision-making over to 100 more government agencies. That's not the direction I think most people think we ought to go.
All right, you and your congressional colleagues go back to work in Washington tomorrow. You have all this week, all of next week. The president over the weekend on YouTube says he wants you guys up or down vote either this week or next week. Does that happen?
Well, let's see what Speaker Pelosi does. There's a lot of meetings both within the Capitol building as well as down at the White House to try to see if there's 218 votes. I don't think right now they have those votes, but we'll see what happens here in the next week or two.
Does he have any Republican votes on this?
Not that I'm aware of. Again, this bill is taxing too much, spending too much, taking $500 billion out of the Medicare Advantage program, giving a huge amount of power to government to run health care. I don't see any Republicans supporting it right now.
You've talked to John Adler, the Democrat from South Jersey, who got in, courtesy likely of Mr. Obama. It helped him win his first seat as a freshman. You've heard his concerns all morning and yesterday on Fox News. Do you think a lot of Democrats feel like John Adler right now?
I think it expresses a lot of the concern many of the rank-and-file Democrat members have, certainly members from Pennsylvania's delegation and others. There were almost 40 Democrats that voted against the House bill a few months ago, and so I think they have those same concerns, and I don't see them being alleviated right now with anything new that's been talked about in the last week or two.
All right, do you think this is more seeing those poll numbers and seeing as many as 60% of Americans, certainly Pennsylvanians, against this, and they're facing re-election in November, or is this something they really truly believe may not be good for the country, let alone be good for their re-election effort?
Well, I think bottom line is, on the House side, we are representatives, quote unquote. We're to represent our districts. And I think members are getting a lot of emails, calls, personal communications from constituents who are expressing their views. And believe me, you take that into consideration. That's what our job is. We're representatives. And I can tell you in my district, people are opposed to this legislation. And I think Congressman Adler is hearing a lot from his constituents, as all of us are. And that's a very, very important thing in determining what we want to do as voting members.
All right, I can't let you go. This time last year, you had a lot of support. People thought you were going to run for governor. You were planning to run for governor. You decided not to. Why didn't you want to run for governor this time?
Well, bottom line is you have to have the financial resources to accomplish it. And as we were doing our fundraising, we had to really assess whether we could do that here in the coming months and felt no, we couldn't get the kind of resources necessary to be successful. And as a result, decided not to run. But with that said, we're very excited, very energized about this year's election cycle. And we think we have a great opportunity to really change the whole direction of Congress through the election.
And maybe statewide office in the future.
Well, let's focus on just getting elected here and helping the people of the 6th District.
All right, Congressman Jim Gerlach and not gubernatorial candidate Jim Gerlach, at least not yet. Chanel John?